All right, so listen, I think I cracked the code to YouTube and the algorithm and getting more views. And I did it just recently on this channel, which I'm going to share with you some of those numbers here in a second. But I actually learned this about 2 years ago on my bigger channel, Brand Creators, which is just over 100,000 subscribers. But it wasn't up until about 2 years ago that we stumbled on what it actually took. Now, whether this was the algorithm changing, I don't know, but it worked. And I'm going to break it down for you right here on the handy dandy little whiteboard. And if you guys are familiar with what I'm doing right there, that's the old handy dandy little notebook, as Blues Clues used to say. Any Blues Clues fans? Let me know in the comments. All right, so we're gonna get into it here. All right, and I am going to break it all down right here. But here's the numbers for this channel right now for the last 28 days since we've been applying what I'm sharing with you here in this new formula. All right, so 182,000 views on this channel. All right, from there 11,300 watch hours, and then 4,700 new subscribers from what I'm about to share with you. Okay. Now, if you want more views, this is definitely going to help you. If you want more subscribers, definitely going to help you. All right. So let's break it down. I'm going to start with the very first step, and there's a T and there's an O. So let's go ahead and fill those in. All right. The first one is a title and an outlier. Now, what that basically means is you can have a great title, but if it's not an outlier, you're kind of guessing. And I'm a fan of guessing every now and then, right? Test something. Why not? But your title is the number one thing. And when we started focusing on this, like I said, about 2 years ago, we gained 75,000 subscribers on my other channel, Brand Creators, which allowed us to get to the 100,000. But as soon as I started focusing on the title and then the outlier portion, what does that mean? We are looking to find titles that aren't necessarily even in our niche, but what an outlier is when you have a channel that has low subscribers. Let's just say it's 3,000 subscribers, but they have a video that got 30,000 or 60,000 or 100,000. That's what an outlier is, and that's what we look for. So title plus outlier, that's the first step, because without the title, we can't let the algorithm know what we're trying to do or the audience we're trying to attract. That's really, really important. So in this case, this video is about YouTube. So YouTube is going to be in the title. That's who it's going to be served to. Probably new channels. Okay. If I'm doing it on my other channel, it's Etsy people, because that's who we're serving over there. That's what we're creating content on. All right. So title and outlier. And oh, by the way, I get asked all the time, how do you find these? I actually have a document that I have 10 of the titles that we've used that have worked really well, that you can take those, reshape them. I turned them into templates. If you want a copy of that, just put hooks in the comments. Now, why hooks? Because, well, a hook gets the attention and grabs the attention. The title does the work of getting it in front of the right audience. But if you want that, just put hooks in the comments and I'll send you a copy of that. All right, let's move on to the second step here. All right, the next one, I didn't want to put the abbreviation there because I thought I'd give it away. CTR, click through rate. That is where YouTube is going to see, okay, we put this video in front of someone. Did they click on it? All right. And that's where your thumbnail is going to come in, which we're going to talk about that. But your click through rate, that's what's determining if the audience likes it or not, or if the message is resonating. So click-through rate, really important. And you do want to be focusing on your click-through rate, getting it up. So again, your title does the job of getting it in front of the audience. The click-through rate determines if it actually was something that they're interested in. And then that's a metric that the algorithm is looking at all the time. Let's move on to number 3. All right, number 3, intro plus hook. Now, what this means is, just like I did in the very beginning of this video, I didn't say, hey guys, welcome back. So glad you're here. Do me a favor, subscribe, hit the like button, none of that stuff, right? I got right into it. I go, hey, I think I cracked the algorithm of YouTube, and I'm going to share with you what I think is happening, right? And so I immediately got right into it. Okay. That's the intro and that's the hook. Okay. A lot of my videos, if you watch any of them, you're going to notice I get right to it because people don't have time. They don't want to sit around and hear you babble. Okay. They want to get right into it, but you also need to let them know they're in the right place. So when they do click, they're going to get sent to that video, and that video is going to deliver on that promise that they clicked in for. So if you read this title, you're like, oh, it's about the algorithm. And the guy says that he figured it out. So I want to listen. So the minute that you click on that, I come in, I go, I think I figured out the algorithm, which I do. And again, I don't think anybody's really figured it out, but we have gotten some really good results. And I think it's because we're following this process. All right. So intro and the hook. The intro is that first 30 seconds. You want to grab the attention and you really, really want to hook them. There's something down here in the bonus I'm going to share with you, which actually goes really well here. And if you do that, well, you're going to increase this, which is going to keep people to stick around. All right. So let's move on to number 4. And first off, I apologize for my handwriting. It's not that good today. Engagement. All right. Engagement. That's where people are going to comment, they're going to like, or they're just going to stay longer, right? You get people to stay longer. They're engaging. They might be pausing and going back because they want to see something that you shared, or maybe they're going to skip to a chapter, right? That's engagement when they're actually touching it or they're actually staying longer. They're actually engaging with that video. So engagement is really, really powerful. So when you are creating a thumbnail, let's say you want that thumbnail to get the click, but you also, and this is what they measure it by, is it gets the click, but how long do they stick around? So we want to hold that attention and you want to be able to keep people engaged. And engagement could be, okay, they liked something, they subscribed, but it also means that they're paying attention, they're listening, and they're sticking around. So it's going to measure that. That's why we want to make sure that we get the intro in there to let them know they're in the right place. We hook them with something that's like, oh, I want to hear more about this. Like you want to hear all these steps. And then from there, you're going to be able to keep them because, well, they want to learn more. All right. So let's move into number 5. And the last one, number 5, is consistency. And I can't stress this enough. So many people, they'll do a video and then a month later, they'll come back and do another video. You're losing momentum. When you start to get videos that are getting momentum, you want to stay in there because your subscribers are going to want more content if you delivered good value. Okay. And YouTube wants that because YouTube wants viewers. They want people to stick around. They want people to come back. And when you're having consistency, you have more at bats, as I call it. I like baseball, so I look at it like you have more swings at the plate, right? If you strike out, it's okay. Do this again. Strike out, do this again, right? Show up. And the other side of it is, like I said, your subscribers, they're gonna like it because you're showing back up. And then YouTube is going to reward you for that if they are engaging with the content, right? You see how it kind of all fits together? Let's get into that bonus, shall we? All right. And the bonus is, well, you can even see I wanted to make this a little bit different. Actually, I couldn't find the red one. I think it fell on the floor. So I just used the blue. Binge-worthy content. What does that mean? Keeping people around longer. That's what the algorithm wants. And if you can keep them longer on your channel, it's going to let the algorithm know that those people like your content. So when you post something new, whether they subscribed or not, they're going to be able to see your content. Here's the other thing that is really worth mentioning. All right. And it's something that I see a lot of people making this mistake. And I made this mistake early on. And that is wrapping up the video. Hey, okay, that's going to wrap up this video and blah, blah, blah. And then people are like, click, and they're gone. Right. What I like to do is I like to lead people to the next thing that they're going to need to do or the thing that they're going to need to know. So we talked about titles and outliers, and I know that that's a big one for a lot of people, and that's where they struggle. And that's why I shot a video right here that shows you 10 titles and how to use them for any niche that'll get more views. Watch that video next, and I'll see you there. See how I did that?